Andrea, thank you so much for your time. It's an absolute pleasure to be here at Thorpe Arch for me and Phil from The Athletic. We really appreciate your time. Firstly, it's rare for an owner of any club to speak, so we feel quite privileged. Secondly, you're speaking to us during a transfer window, which is arguably the busiest time for somebody at the top of a Premier League football club. So how are things for you at the moment?
Yeah, a bit scary because it's even two of you, so no double trouble. And I think it's a great opportunity, in my view, to take some time to explain about the club decision, the strategy, looking a little bit about the past, but also talk about today, the present, the season that's starting this weekend, and also a little bit about the vision, the future of the club. And I thank you and your platform for giving me the opportunity to spread our message and clear to the many questions that over the past year, the fans has had in their mind.
I think the best place to start is probably to go back to the events of February and the decision to sack Marcelo Bielsa and to replace him as head coach. Nobody at the club has really spoken about that at length. So why was the decision taken, and why did you think at that stage that it was the right thing to do?
First of all, I think I really seriously, honestly tell you that I never thought before to sack Bielsa ever, because he is a legend. He was a legend for this club, for what he achieved, for not only the result of the promotion, but how he changed and transformed the culture of this club, following really the desire that I had, and I think the intuition myself and Victor had to bring him to Leeds. He paid back, and we achieved amazing result after 17 years of being out of the Premier League. And not only in the pitch, as I said, but in the entire club organization. So I never thought even this moment could ever happen, ever. But during the year, I think the moment that I start to have a doubt and something in my mind was the game at Birmingham, when actually the media was with draw 3-3, was a draw. And
this is Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Aston Villa,
yeah, away. And I remember that all the media even talking positive about our performance, but reality for me was half time. I wanted almost to leave the stadium because I was disappointed about the lack of discipline in the pitch, and how it was easy to get in and score goals against us. No? And that was the first moment where I realized that maybe something is wrong now, and the team probably cannot execute anymore what he has been asking for the last years. They start to become tired mentally more than physically, and that was the first moment where I said, I need to really think about if it's the right thing to continue or not, because it was too easy. It was a game that normally we would have won, and for the way the game was, it flew. But we draw. Luckily, we were down 3-1 after being up 1-0, and the discipline in the pitch and the organization was not right, in my opinion.
You wanted to leave the stadium at half-time. Did you consider in your emotional mind sacking him there and then? It's time to go if we lose this match.
No. But I was very disappointed, and I remember when we scored just before the whistle, half-time whistle, I didn't even celebrate and enjoy. I was the only one among all the management that seriously had to stay inside. I was really disappointed for what I was looking in the pitch, but. So obviously the responsibility is not only the coach; it's also to be shared with the players. And but in that moment, I felt something was broken. That's when you have a tipping point and you say, maybe something is going in the wrong direction this year. Then it was too soon to take any decision, so I let the time show how he would be reacting. And then when I saw against the top club, obviously the top clubs have another level, but I think in a way it was the system, the one-to-one marker, and everything that was asked to the player was not working, but also was putting themselves almost in a situation to be humiliated, because I remember some games where it was so easy to score against us, and I didn't feel any more comfortable for the players, for the fans, for the club, and at the end, I realized that Marcelo had only one way. He could not compromise with his way. So at the end, this could risk to bring a relegation to the club. So I could not afford to take that risk, and we did take the risk until the very last minute, as you know. But I had to do something. So I decided after the game with Manchester United, because a team that normally, even there, a team that come back with a fantastic performance of the players and the fans on the stand, come back from 0-2 to 2-2. In a very difficult situation, weather and stadium, everything. The player showed an amazing character and desire to turn it around, and they did it. The game was 2-2, around 70 minutes second half, and 90% of the time in football, when you have this situation, either you win the game or you don't. You never lose it. Even there, it was so easy to come in and score. We lost really badly. So I think I decided that after that game, I decided. And then was about person I want to change immediately. Then I consult with the management and we decide to, because it was Liverpool game and then Tottenham, we decide to take a bit of time. And then both games were also very, very difficult for the players. And then we changed after Tottenham.
There had been times previously, albeit short ones, where the form performances had dipped a little bit under Marcelo, and he'd always found a way to bring it back and to get it under control again. Why did it feel different this time? Why didn't you have that same confidence in him?
Because I could see the player were arrived in emotionally and physically, they were done. They were really at the end. So we need something. We need the change. We need something to recompact the group, and it was very risky in both ways. So it was not easy to decide to potentially die with him or die with someone else, which it would be even worse. So in any case, I will lose.
Did you think you were going to get relegated if you kept him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's why it was so important for you to do it.
And what of the players then? How much did you seek feedback from the players?
The players, they were supporting him. The players were behind him more for the legacy of what they done together, how they grown with him. But in the next day when we arrived here with Jesse Marsh, I never seen the atmosphere so changed and so happy among the player and the staff. So something was spoiled inside, and until the moment we changed, it couldn't come out. No, it was tapped in by his presence. So, but which was a fantastic experience, a fantastic coach, and we will have always legacy with this club. But there was a time, at the end, I have my own opinion about Marcelo that I think is, I adore him, and it was very hard for me to do with him what I had to do and the way I had to do it. But I try to do all the time the best for the club, and in that time I did the best for the club. However, I think what is his strength is also his weakness, because his strength is the discipline and is let's say one way to work, and the system of the football he has. So he doesn't compromise with anything else than his idea of football. But this strength is also his weakness, because the lack of adaptation and flexibility, it took it to the end.
Given the feeling of the players that you mentioned there, that they didn't really realise until they got the new man that something needed lifting, but the feeling at that time, the feeling of the fan base, many of whom to this day are very upset, how hard was it for you to actually tell him? And could you explain to us, you told him face to face? Was it emotional?
Yeah. I told him face to face. It was, it was very different than every meeting I had with him. Normally, every meeting with him, he opens to a very long conversation. And in this case, I don't know, probably didn't expect because I used and I always support him unconditionally. So probably it was, he would maybe have thought that if something never would change like that in my unconditional support. And I saw him probably hard and speechless for the first time. But it was very hard for me too. I mean, a man which I share one of the best days of my life and the best experience in my life, and a project so unique, so different, so special, like Leeds United back in the Premier League. So it was very difficult as well for me. But I need to prioritize the club and try to be rational in every moment I decide for the club.
Are you going to honour him in any way? Are we going to see statues or tributes?
Yes, I'm happy to we are sending him a communication. We would like to name the training ground after his name, so Thorpe Arch becoming Marcelo Bielsa training ground. And I have still an idea for a long time I share with him that one day I would love to build a university of football with his name, so I hope he will still be open for that idea.